Hey everyone, welcome back to Bodyhavensoaps. Today's video we are going to go over the importance of knowing how to formulate your own recipes. There's lots of recipes out there, but it's an important thing to understand and create your own product. So that is going to be the next few videos that I'm going to work on, is hopefully helping you guys be able to formulate and create your own recipes. Okay, so just a quick update before we move on forward from there. We do have the insulation and vapor barrier in the basement now, waiting on an inspection, so that's a step forward. After the inspection gets approved, we can then move on to beginning the drywall down there, so I'll keep you guys up to date with that. I have been able to order 2 soap molds. They are made to order, so they will be a little bit before they're in, but I do have those on order, so hopefully in the near future I will have those. So that's a step forward. I also have my Patreon page up and running. I have 23 recipes on there right now, and I will be adding more throughout the next couple months. I'm going to try and get as many uploaded on there for you guys to use as base recipes, or to start creating products as I can for you guys. So anybody that would like to support me in rebuilding my business, that is linked in the description box below. Okay. And that's about all that's changed since the last time I talked to you guys. So let's move on to the reason that we're here today. Okay, so let's go over why it's important to be able to create your own product. Okay, it's really important to have that clear understanding of what it is you're creating and why you're creating it. You want to have a product that you can call your own. Okay, and you've got to find your niche, so you've got to find a way to stand out different than the next person that's creating their own formulas and products. Now, I have no problem sharing my recipes with you guys. My whole goal with this channel is to help other creators create. I find creating formulas and things a very creative process, and I truly do enjoy that. So I'm hoping to pass that on and build confidence in you guys. Okay, so it's really important that you guys understand the formulation process. Okay, so why did you choose those specific ingredients? So you need to understand those ingredients and why you chose those ingredients. Okay, what do they bring to your product? Is there a certain ingredient that you are going to use in every product that is going to be your signature for your line that you're creating? Okay, you want to know, is it a natural product, is it a synthetic product, where these ingredients actually were sourced from, as well, as an important thing to understand. And then on top of that, you guys, you want to make sure that you're not putting anything in your product that is toxic. Okay, everything that we use should be non-toxic. I try to go as natural as I can. I mean, there's certain exceptions, but I make sure I source my ingredients properly. I want to make sure that they're ethically sourced. I want to make sure that I am using organic, different things like that I take pride in putting in my product. I designed this company specifically because there was so much skin irritants for my grandkids, that with all the products out there, that I needed to make something that they could enjoy bath time and stuff like that. So that's the whole reason I got into it. So I make sure that and that's just kind of who I am and where I am from. You guys are going to make your own decisions and come up with your own conclusions. Okay, as a business owner, when somebody asks you questions, you're going to want to be able to answer those questions accurately, with confidence, and with a clear understanding of those ingredients and the product that you've created, so that we have customers that find us as reliable sources to buy those products from. Also going to want to know what your customers are paying for. So when you learn about the formulation of skincare products, you're going to have a clear understanding of how much research, how much testing, and the labeling and following those standards, all of those things to be met, how much actually goes into creating that one specific product. So it gives you a clear understanding, so you're not undervaluing what it is that you're actually producing and selling to people. We see that a lot out there. I see it a lot on Etsy, where people will sell their product for next to nothing. It's really undervaluing the amount of effort that goes into making this product. Okay, so that's another clear understanding that people can get from this, is understanding the amount of work and energy that goes into creating these formulas. This is a good place to start, you guys, learning how formulations are created, so that you have a clear understanding when you find that recipe online. How much effort went into creating that recipe? Is that recipe going to meet your standards, or can you modify that recipe to meet what it is that your product is designed to be? Okay, so that's what this is going to go over. I'm going to bring up some PowerPoints here. We're going to go over just the basic 6 steps of creating your own formula. And then in the next video, we are going to go over how to actually calculate your formulas into percentages and into batch sizes. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so basic steps in creating your own cosmetic formula and converting it into a recipe. This video will go over your steps. The next video, we're going to work on doing the mathematics to convert it into a full recipe for yourself. Step 1, you're going to define your product. What is it that you want to make? Step 2, you're going to find that starting formula that's available to you. You're going to do step 3, where you prepare everything to make your batch. Step 4 is the actual making of the batch. And step 5 is where we go through testing our batch through whatever tests that we need to do. And step 6, we would revise the formula if it's not what we're looking for, and repeat until we come out with the formula that we're looking for. So step 1, defining your product. Okay, so what are you going to make? Before you get started, you need to think about what you are going to make. Figure out what the functions you want your product to achieve. Is it a cleansing product, a moisturizer, a coloring product, or maybe a combination of factors? Also think about the aesthetic characteristics like color, thickness, clarity. The cosmetic product form, what do you want it to look like? Write these parameters down, so now you'll know when you're done whether you've been successful in creating what it is you're looking for. It is always helpful to have a target product with characteristics that you are trying to match, so you can get a sample of a lotion or a cream. So for this instance, we are going to use face cream. I may go get a sample of a face cream for the texture. This is what I'm looking to create with different ingredients than what I could buy from the store. Step 2 is finding your starting formula. Next, you need to figure out a good starting formula. Starting formulas can be found in a variety of sources. Okay, you can use Google. Okay, of course. You can also talk to another creator who may be able to share one of their starting recipes with you to get started. As you can see on here, I went and I picked out 2 face cream recipes from Google, emulsified face cream and whipped face cream. These are the base recipes. As you can see, some are measured in grams, drops, cups, tablespoons. These are inaccurate measurements, and we are going to need to create a proper formula for these. Okay, how much of each ingredient we're going to need and what specifications we will test for. So once you have your starting formula, you want to determine how much you want to make and create a spreadsheet. I don't have a spreadsheet. I have a piece of paper that I have put a little chart on that I use. You may get your own spreadsheet or design your own spreadsheet that does the calculations for you. Okay, whatever works for you. So you need to figure out how much of each ingredient you will need. Then you will need to list the specifications that you will test for when the batch is finished. After that, you will have to gather up all of your raw materials and processing equipment you need to make that batch. Okay, testing specifications we can test for: pH levels, viscosity, product functions, and then I test it myself and then pass it on to others to test before I sell the product. Step 4, making the batch. Making a cosmetic product is much like cooking. You're going to weigh or measure out your ingredients, mix them together as directed in the procedure, and heat and cool as required. During this entire process, you should be writing down notes, taking observations. These will come in handy when you need to make any refinements to your recipes because it didn't quite meet what you were looking to create. You'll almost never create the perfect batch the first time. Sometimes I've done up to 12 different batches before I finally got something to where I thought it was a product that I would be happy to put my name on. So step 5 is where you will go through your testing of your batches. Once you've finished your formula, you want to test it to see how successful you were. Did you meet your parameters? After letting the sample come to room temperature, you are going to take appropriate measurements like pH if necessary, the viscosity that you have within those specifications. You may also want to weigh your batch to see how much water weight you lost during the heating and cooling process, if that's applicable. If you've lost more than a few percent of water, you may want to add more water to your initial recipe to make up the difference. In addition to specification tests, you should also do some performance tests to see how well the product functions. At the very least, try the product on yourself. If the formula meets your satisfaction, then you'll want to do a stability test. A stability test, you guys, generally what I do is I will go and try the product myself. I will try that product for about 3 to 4 weeks. If I'm happy with it, okay, and I've done making all my adjustments, so like I say, sometimes I go back and I'll make many adjustments before I'm happy with the finished product. I will try that product for 3 to 4 weeks. Once I have tried it on myself, I will then make another small batch and I give it to 5 different people from different parts of my life to test and provide me feedback. It's really important that you don't give it to all the same type of person, such as, and within type, I mean, I have one person that tests my products for me, a good friend of mine. She is the most blunt, honest person you could ever ask for, so I get true feedback from her. I have somebody else in my family that is very, you know, does her makeup every morning, puts lotion on her face every day, so it's a daily use basis. I have another person that tests the products that might use lotion on their face once a week. So I have 5 different people that use products differently, I guess is the proper way to say that, to make sure I get adequate feedback from all type of people's uses. Okay, and then the stability test, you guys, is where once I've got that product to the finished consistency that I want and I'm happy with it, I will then take a small amount of that product and I will just sit it on the shelf. And through this whole testing process of my friends and family trying it and everything else, I will leave it sit there. I watch for separation. I watch for the structure changing. I look for any molds or anything like that. What is the shelf life of this product? Now we can figure out shelf lives, which I'll do a video on later, to an approximate amount, but I do want to make sure that my product's not going to separate and all of those types of things in a short period of time. All right, so step 6, revise your formula and repeat. So determine where it doesn't measure up. Okay, make any adjustments you need, which you will be able to do once you have a better understanding, or if you have a good understanding of the ingredients that you're using. Okay, and then write a new formula and try again. I usually write my formulas to 100 grams, and that's going to be my test batches until I'm happy with it, and then I will write it to 300 grams, and then I will do that, hand it out to the people that I get to test for me, and then I can batch size from there. Okay, next video that we're going to do is going to be on math calculations and batch sizes. Hey guys, so now that we've gone over the basic steps of how to formulate a recipe and come out with a finished product, I'm going to put a challenge out there for the ones that want to go through learning how to formulate and have this product that they've wanted to formulate a recipe for and just haven't understood how to begin. I would like you guys to find that base recipe, okay? whatever it is that you would like to try to formulate. And in the next video, I'm going to go over how to break that recipe into percentages. So don't worry about if your base recipe is measured into tablespoons, cups, drops, grams, ounces. We're going to go over how to figure out how to change that into a percentage. Okay, and then we're going to show you how to batch size that recipe so that you can make your go on to the next step where you can make your very own first batch of that test recipe and go through the testing process. So anybody that's interested in doing that, make sure that you subscribe and you hit the bell so you're notified when the next video comes up. Greatly appreciate all of your guys' support. So look for that next video of how to build recipes into percentages and how to batch size your recipe. And until then, we'll see you next time.